Okay, so here's a worksheet that I have talking about parallel lines being cut by a transversal, and so we can use those theories about parallel lines and transversals to find the measure of angles if we're given a particular piece of information. So let's take a look at that first problem there. It says if angle 2 is equal to 32 degrees. So we're looking at that one right there. All right, so let's go ahead and go up here to our graph. So if this is 32 degrees, okay, so angle 2 is 32 degrees. It asks about angle 6, so angle 6 is down here. Okay, well I'm looking at these two angles, and angle 2 seems to be in the top right corner of that group of 4, right? With angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, it's in the top right. Look at angle 6, it's also in the top right. We know that by corresponding angles, right? Isn't angle 6 going to be 32 degrees? Because they're in the same position just within the different group. So I know that angle 6 will be 32 degrees. Now, let's take a look at angle 8. So it says, what is the measure of angle 8? Well, look at 6 and 8. They're right next to each other. It's not necessarily a theory, it's a postulate, if you will. When two angles are right next to each other, that means they're supplementary. Because notice how 6 and 8 are both here on this line. So if I were to add 32 to whatever 8 is, so 32 plus something, that's going to equal 180 degrees. That's what we call supplementary angles. Two angles that add together to give me 180 degrees. So I know 32 plus something, we'll just call it x, equals 180. So how do I solve for x? Subtract 32. And x is going to equal 148. So I know that angle 8 is going to equal 148 because two angles right next to each other on a line are supplementary angles, meaning they add together to give me 180. So that means 148 degrees plus 32 degrees gives me 180. All right, let's try one down here. Let's try the one here on the bottom left. It says if angle 6 is 64 degrees, okay? So we got to erase all the stuff I did up here because you have to reset the problem here. So let's erase all that. Okay. So angle 6 is 64 degrees. Okay. It asks about angle 3. Okay. So angle 6 is right here. Angle 3 is right here. Okay, well I notice that they're both on the inside of the parallel lines, and the 3 is on the left, 6 is on the right. Well, I learned that by alternate interior angles, those are going to be the same. So angle 3 is also going to be 64 degrees because of alternate interior angles theorem. Now, it asked me about angle 4. So I noticed that 3 and 4 are right next to each other on the same line. So that means they're supplementary, meaning 64 plus something equals 180. So subtract 64, and I'm going to get x equals 116, I believe. And so a measure of angle 4 is 116 degrees. Because supplementary angles, if they're right next to each other on the same line, they add together to equal 180. So 64 plus 116 does equal 180 degrees. So that's how you do that using the different theorems we learned about parallel lines, transversals. In the next video, I'm going to do the algebra there on the right side of the page. So be excited.